Hi friends from the internet, I'm here to show you my May wrap-up, so let's get started. So this month I read a total of 6 books. I know that's not a lot for most of you, but this was a busy month, so I'm happy with 6 books. And also, this wrap-up will be really short because I already talked about most of these books anyway, but let's just get started. So, the first book I read this month was Sage and Storm by Lee Bardugo. This is the second book in the Grisha trilogy, and the third book will be coming out in this month, Sunday. I think it's June 17, but I'm not really sure. But this book was... I don't know how I feel about it yet. I liked it a lot, more than I like Shadow and Bone, but I have no idea how this trilogy is gonna end. I seriously have no idea. And also, the end of this book was such a, not a cliffhanger, but it really, I have no idea how this is gonna end. Like, I cannot predict anything can happen, but yeah. I give this, I think, 4 or 5 out of... I think I gave this 4 stars, but I'm not really sure. But I recommend this trilogy. It's really awesome if you're into fantasy, Russia kind of thing. I know that's a weird combination, but yeah, that. Next book I read in May was Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This was a reread for me, but it doesn't appear as a reread in Goodreads because I haven't put like the books I read before Goodreads in Goodreads. For some reason, I just don't do that. Anyway, I read this book. I loved it more than I did the first time. It's such a lovely story. It's like a fairy tale, but an adult fairy tale, you could say. And it's such a lovely story, and obviously Neil Gaiman's writing, it's absolutely beautiful. And if you haven't read any book by Neil Gaiman, this was my first Neil Gaiman book, and I absolutely fell in love with his writing style, so I absolutely recommend it. 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Insurgent by Veronica Roth, and I already talked about how I feel about this book in one of my readathon wrap-up videos, but yeah, I don't know where this trilogy is going, so everybody has told me like Allegiant wasn't that good of a book, so I don't know. Triss in this book was kind of crazy, and she was kind of out of character in some scenes, but I don't know when I'm gonna pick up Allegiant. I just hope I'm not spoiled by the time I do that. So I'm gonna try really hard to avoid spoilers, but I'll be definitely picking up Allegiant soon because I just want to know what happens. And I mean, the end of this book. I mean, the end of this book. The end of this book is kind of super crazy, so yeah. 4 out of 5. I think I gave this book 4 or 5 stars in Goodreads. I think. I don't really remember. But yeah, I will have to read Allegiant before I recommend this series, really. So let's move on. So the next books I read in the month of May, I will talk them as a whole because I totally binge read it and it was awesome. And that was the Mortal Instruments series. This one's are upside down. Well, the Mortal Instruments series. And I totally binge read this series and it was awesome. And I absolutely loved it. And the first book I'll talk about is City of Glass. I absolutely loved this book. I wasn't so sure, like, definitely, I mean, I like City of Bones and City of Ashes, but this book was, I'm obsessed now with this series. I love it. And I already talked about this book in one of my wrap-ups, about one of my readathon wrap-ups, I think. So if you want to know more about my thoughts and watch this video, but I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favorites now. If you read City of Bones and you're not too sure you want to go on with the series, definitely do so, because the next books are so much better than City of Bones and City of Ashes. Just do so. And next I read City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls, getting ready for the release of City of Heavenly Fire. And this book, I mean, most of the things I heard about this book was it was the least favorite of the series, and I didn't feel as so. It was not as epic as City of Glass, definitely, but it was such a good book. I think it was the great start for the new arc of the series. And next, I read City of Lost Souls, and it was amazing. I loved this book. It was Sebastian as a villain is super creepy. I mean, I'm more scared of him than I was scared of Valentine, and yeah. And Jace and Clary in this book were just like, it was not sad, it was more like frustrating, because Jace was not really Jace, and Clary was like, he's not really Jace, but he's kind of like Jace, and yeah. And I love Simon and I love Isabel, and I'm so glad that in these last two books we get to know more about them and we get more of their point of view, and I love that because Simon is my favorite character of the series so far, and I loved it. And yeah, so that's it for the months of May. And for books I want to read in June, well, I already read City of Heavenly Fire, so you'll hear more about that in my June wrap-up. And I want to read more short books because these books are more big. So definitely I will read The Infernal Abyss now because I need to read that. Anyway, that was it for this month's wrap-up. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. And thank you again. Love you. Bye.